Hi, I'm Becky, and we are going to talk about menstrual cycles. You know, there is some important information that you need to know before beginning this program. In your training, your manual, on page 6, there's a whole section in here about women and menstrual cycles. Make sure that you read through each one of these bullet points. Some of the most frequently asked questions is people wondering why they need to stop taking the drops during their period. And the biggest reason is because we have found that when people continue to take the drops during their cycle, once the cycle is over, their weight loss completely stops. So based on the research that we have found, it negates the effects of the drops, and then you kind of go into a plateau, and that's not very fun. So just make sure that the minute your period stops, you stop taking the drops, continue on the diet, all the menu portions that you're using, and then as soon as your cycle ends, go ahead and take your drops again and just continue right where you left off. Now, for those of you who seem to have extra long cycles, if you get about 4 or 5 days in and you just start getting really, really hungry, stick with the menu, but just increase your calories just a little bit. You want to kind of monitor your weight loss, make sure that you're not gaining, but you want to be able to make sure that you're feeling well enough without the drops. And then as soon as you're able to start taking the drops again, then go back to the calories as it's written, the meal portions. Now, one thing is there are lots of people out there who have a lot of hard times with their cycle, and it's not always regular. You think, okay, I've just finished my cycle, I'm going to start it. You go through the loading, and then all of a sudden, lo and behold, you start your period. You know, that is not uncommon. So the best thing to do, if you've gotten the first few days of loading in, and then you're maybe on the first day or two, do your best to just stick with it. If you maybe need to increase your calories a little bit, but go ahead and stop taking the drops. Now, if you start your period during loading, go ahead and stop and start over. But if you've gotten a day or two into the reduced calorie, just stick it out and you should be fine. Now, there are some very, very rare, but sometimes when there are women that every single time they start the program, their period starts. And it's just probably you have some hormone problems anyway, so that's not news to you. So it might not necessarily be your normal cycle. It's probably just some breakthrough bleeding. So go ahead and try the program, monitor yourself, see how your weight loss goes. If you're having good results, then stick with it. If not, then maybe we would just recommend going and seeing your physician and see what you need to do to balance out your hormones. But you know, there's just a lot of things when you're dealing with hormones. There's not always a pat answer for every little thing. There's the basic overview of the program, read through your book, talk to your coach, get the best advice that you can, and then just kind of follow your gut instinct. But the things that are the most important is not to take your drops while you're on your cycle. And the other thing is to make sure you've got enough room when you start the program before your cycle starts. Those are the most important things to remember, and you will do great. Have fun.